Hello and welcome to the weekend review on food and health communications, your number one go-to source for credible and timely food and health information. My name is Victor Wabari.
And my name is Eunice Felicity. Welcome to our show. So today we'll be discussing about the weekend trends, what have been trending during the weekend. So Victor Wabari, how was your weekend?
Well, my weekend was, how do I put it now? I think it was, it had so many sides. It was ugly and I
Oh,
also had a good part of it, but I'll tell you what happened, which got me so depressed. It got me really bad.
okay,
The incidents that happened about the guy who was killed, he was
okay.
murdered. I mean, it's not so far away from where I live.
What
The
happened?
remember the Deborah case, the Deborah
Yes,
issue.
yes, yes.
So the guy raised up an argument. I think he was trying to say that she was murdered unlawfully, it was wrong and all of that. So he was trying to side Deborah. And he was arguing, this argument was between him and a clergyman, that's an imam, a Muslim
Wow.
clergyman. And before you know it, it became very, very heated.
And the
And
guy is a Christian, I
no, the
guess.
guy's not a Christian, the guy's a Muslim. Because
They
from the
killed
name I saw,
themselves.
yeah, from the name I saw Umar something. He was a Muslim trying to argue with a clergy and a Muslim clergy, and I felt he was accused to allegedly blaspheme, the religion and according to what I read on Vanguard, it was about 200 mobs, 200 persons came around, and before you know it, they had they had burnt the guy alive, and it was terrible, so bad.
That's so
But
bad.
that aside, my weekend on the other hand was great. Had a good time catching up with friends and families.
Oh.
How about yours?
Well, mine went smoothly and simple. I was at home all through. I did some washing, some house chores, and I was just literally at home. A friend of mine actually celebrated her birthday, and she invited me, for the grooves, you get it. But I couldn't go. I was just at home, just keeping to myself, and
Yeah.
that's it. So we want to talk about what's been trending. You've seen the news about what has been trending during the weekend. So many issues came up, from politics to health
Mm.
to we even saw a situation of two professors that were dismissed. I'm sure
Yeah,
you
yeah.
heard
I
about
saw the story. I saw it yesterday
this. Okay.
of how that two professors from the University of Abuja were dismissed by the vice chancellor,
Yeah.
and it's resulted to the issue of sex for marks. I think they were demanding sex from these ladies in order to give them marks, and the vice chancellor got to know about it, and they were dismissed. It's so terrible. After building your academic life from
That's so
a
unprofessional.
student, you went for your degree to your master's to your PhD, you rose to becoming a
A
professor,
professor.
and you round it off this way by being dismissed.
That actually so
So
bad
just terrible.
because that alone is even very inappropriate. It's not
Mm-hmm.
nice. Like normally as humans, we know that's like going out of the
Of
norms,
course.
the social norms, and now you're coming to ask a child that you're teaching, a student you're teaching,
You're way older
you are
than.
training them to become good citizens of a
Mm,
country, and you're the one actually asking them to give you sex. Why?
mm, mm,
Why? And those children now, those ladies, they actually, some of them that are actually very, very wild.
mm,
Those wild ones.
mm,
That's why you see most of them are having low self-esteem, to the
mm-hmm,
extent that they'll go out to enlarge this or
mm.
enlarge that, or add this to their eyes or add that to their head. Like the lady that came up
Yeah.
during the weekend, the lady that she went to add her
A Botox.
her,
Call it the way it is. That's what it is.
that's actually crazy. I could actually say the word. Like she went to add her backside,
Mm.
and in the process, she was bleeding. She went before bleeding. She went to a
God.
party. I know you know the story very
Of
well.
course. I mean, what was she
She went
thinking? What
to a
was she
party
thinking?
after the surgery. You know that kind of thing. Let me show
Did you see her
off.
picture?
Yeah,
She's
you saw
actually
it.
beautiful.
Naturally,
There
she's
was there was no
beautiful.
need for that.
No. That's why I said from the start. I said a low self-esteem.
Mm,
She had that low self-esteem, and she felt like, okay, I want to add this to me. I want to add
mm.
that, so that when I shake it off, it's gonna shake off. You
Just
get
shake
it?
off to bleed.
That's crazy actually. So she went to a party and she was shaking it off and it started bleeding. Like it was bleeding and she went back to the hospital and she met the doctor and she was telling him that, okay guys, see what's up with what's going on with me, and the guy was like, that's normal professionally, you get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm a professional. I'm a doctor. I have PhD in this, I'm PhD in that. I'm telling you, bleeding is normal. My sister, she went back home and she was like, but I'm still bleeding. I'm still bleeding. She came back to the doctor and the doctor was like, my sister, you don't know what I'm saying. She said, no, I want to stay in the hospital. At least check me out. The man said, oh, I go and check in his mind. You know that kind of thing. Say, she be the one, baby, mom. You have carried. You have carried. I've give you. Why are you disturbing me? You know that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she was readmitted to the hospital and she stayed there for like 3 days and she died. She died in the process. And when she died, immediately doctor packaged her, went to the morgue,
You can imagine.
dropped her there. He didn't call anybody, nothing, no information. Her friends came back and they were trying to reach her. Fortunately for them, she actually called her friends and told them that this is where I'm going to. So since then, they hadn't reached her. So they had to call her and she wasn't going through. Her number wasn't going through. They went to the hospital and that was when they got the information that she had died 3 days back.
And the funny thing about this is that this is not the first time
this is not the first time
it's happening. It's something reoccurring.
This is norm. It has become a norm, even in the lives of our celebrities, our so-called celebrities. It's something that is happening constantly, and this affects their health. I was seeing a video of somebody yesterday. The guy is not actually a Nigerian. He's somebody out there. He's a cross-gender. You get it. So he was putting on this. They have these customized breasts. Sorry to use the word. You just put it on as a cross-gender guy. You just put it on, and so he put it on. After he stayed for like, he wasn't supposed to stay with it for up to 24 hours. And he stayed with it for up to 24 hours. When he got back home, his whole body was reddish, there were rashes there and everything. These things affect your head. They are not normal. They are not natural. Just be the way you are. You don't need to add all those things. You don't need to.
You can imagine you being the way you are and living the life God wants you to live, the number of life He has predestined you to live, and going out there to add stuff to your body and dying prematurely. It's really really bad.
Dying.
Come on.
And considering the fact that the country these days we have rampant killings, and you are adding this one to it. You're adding the rampant killings to it. It's just making it. The killings is not now becoming.
It's not, because we wake up every day to the fact that people who survived, I always say that's what it is now. The people who survived yesterday will die, are today's victims of death, and people who are survivors today might just be tomorrow's
I reject
victims.
that. I reject that.
That's what it is. That's just what it is, because the people who died yesterday were the day before yesterday's survivivors. And the people who die tomorrow are today's survivors. It's terrible. The killings just growing in numbers. Every day we wake up to the fact that it has become. I was in the cab this morning and the driver, they were talking about the killings and all of that, and the driver was like, "It's no longer news. It's a norm.
It's a norm. It's become a norm now."
Gone are those days where you hear people were killed there and there's this shock.
Yes.
Right now it's nothing. People dying like chickens, and it's
people dying like chickens, and you just wake up in the morning and say, this is so people were killed in this place, and I'm like, God will help us. Where would they hear? Do you understand? And they're telling you that, okay, unlike before when you wake up in the morning and they tell you that, okay, in this certain place, so people were killed, you have that fear. People will start crying and all those, but now it's not like that. Normal thing. We pray for God. When our time reach, definitely we are going to die. It's
That's just
crazy.
what it is. Don't forget, we are still reviewing the trends that went down over the weekend. Units moving down to the west.
Okay.
Did you see what happened in church yesterday?
That was actually the bomb. That was the bomb of everything. It was really the bomb, because it was yesterday morning when I got back from church. I was at home and I was just surfing through the net and I was just saying, Owo, rest in peace. Owo, Ondo. And I'm like, God, what is really going on in this country? What is going on? What do we need for these people to stop all these killings? Like, it's actually crazy to think that You're killing, you're butchering your fellow human. You're looking, how do you feel?
Taking it from this perspective, it just goes to show the fact that the place of God, of that spiritual God in the lives of people have been, it has been
It has
nudged
been
out.
mocked. It has been
Because how
mocked.
do you go to a place of worship
A
regardless?
place of
I don't want
safety.
to talk
A
about the
place of
fact that it's a
safety.
church, it's a mosque. I don't care. But for the fact that it's a place where people go to worship their supreme being.
And you have your own supreme being whom you
My
worship
God.
and adore, and you feel if anybody talks something about that person, it's blasphemy. Do you get it? And you're actually
It's
blaspheming other people's
it's
religion. This
it's
this
really
this
terrible.
religion norms we're having, segregation, religion segregation we're having in the country is becoming really, really bad. It's becoming, it has reached this height that the government needs to actually stand up and do something about this, because
The,
the silence is making people
of
think like,
course,
okay,
that's it.
you are in collaboration with
That's it.
these people.
And that's what the PDP came out this morning to say, that the silence of the APC government just shows complicity. It
Yes.
just that's what it
What are you
means.
telling me?
You're not
We are in a
saying anything.
country, and such things are happening, and you're telling me that okay, the government is silent, nobody is doing anything, and you want me to believe that the government doesn't have hands in it?
Moving back to taking you back to the one of the shows we had earlier, and when we were talking about the Kaduna killing, and how that I talked about the fact that the primary aim of governance
Yeah,
is the safety and the well-being of the people.
of the citizens.
If the citizens cannot be protected, cannot be safe, the government has failed. According to section 14 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, it stated there clearly that the main objective, the main purpose of governance is to save the lives of people, to protect people.
Wherever they are, whether they're in Nigeria or they're outside the country, as far you're a governor over them, or a president over them, you are to protect them. I saw in the news today of a man that was killed, a Nigerian man that just went abroad 6 weeks ago. Sorry. He went abroad, and just to, because of the way the country is,
Yeah,
everybody is
of
trying to
course.
run away.
Trying to run
You
away.
get it? There's no safety here,
That's
and
what
even
it
there
is.
they're going to. There's no safety there.
That's right.
The man has been there for 6 weeks, and he got killed by a drunk truck driver,
Mm,
and the government hasn't said anything about it.
mm,
Now imagine if somebody from there, I don't want to call names, somebody from outside Nigeria
yeah.
comes down to Nigeria, and the person is being killed by a
Mm.
drunk Nigerian driver. What do you think will happen?
Because it just
Think of
goes
something
to
that's just
show.
simple. We need to learn. We need to learn. We know how people are acting in their countries. We know how they protect their citizens there. Why can't we learn? Even if we don't have that mentality that, okay, we need to take care of these people, these are my responsibility, why not learn from others out there?
Now, I'll ask you this question: Who are the people to stand up and fight for the people in the diaspora? If the government can, if as a father you can't protect, when I mean father, I'm not direct. I'm just making an
Yeah,
analogy.
yes.
If as a father you can't protect the children within your nuclear circle, how do you now protect the children within your extended circle? That's what it is. I mean, what do you expect? A man being killed in the diaspora, and nobody says about anything
Nobody
about
says
it.
about, sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
And few weeks ago, no, few days ago, just within the weekend too, that was probably Friday, Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. A Nigerian staying abroad, he killed. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not saying what, but I'm trying to drag your attention to something. He was staying abroad. He's been there for quite some time, and he got married to a lady from there. He killed. I think they had a fight and about their son. So I think they had a divorce also. So he was trying to take the child, the
Yeah.
son, the little baby from her. And he was like, okay, I need custody of my child. My son is going to definitely stay with me. And the lady is like, no, he's not going to stay with you. I'm the mother, stuff like that. Yes, no, he's not going to work, no. And her mother is also like, No, this is my grandson. No, he's not going to stay with you. No, you get it. And and the guy was mad and crazy and like, no, this is not going to happen. He took up a gun and shot the mother of the girl, and shot the girl.
Hmm.
I tell you that that guy didn't have peace until he
Of course.
killed himself,
Of
because
course.
immediately the police had what happened. The police started tracking him down. They were following him. They needed to get him. He had to run to a hotel. He kept the baby in the hotel. Then he took his car and he was running off. He saw that he couldn't beat the police again. He had to take his gun and shoot himself.
That shows you that do you know why he killed himself? Not really because he felt bad about what he did.
No.
But he knew he was going to get caught up.
He knew.
It just shows you that there are certain crimes where nothing just goes.
No.
The law will catch up with you. And there are other crimes where people do certain things and they get away with it because of the way the things, the system that runs there. That's what we're saying. It just shows how governance is being played out in certain crimes and
In
other
certain
parts
crimes.
of the nation.
It's actually crazy.
We've had
It's
people in so
crazy.
many African and countries, in so many third nations, where people do terrible things that are
Terrible
worse than that,
things.
and they still live. It dies out. The government does nothing. The people in themselves do not stand up. But that's why he killed himself, because he knew that sooner than later, the law
Was
the
going to catch up
security
with
were
him.
going to catch up with him.
Definitely, he knew. He had it
I
in
just-
his
I
mind.
just- I
He
just
knew.
wish we-
He had that notion in his head that this is what's going to happen to me. My own don't do. It's better I just run away. Better I kill myself with my hand. You get, so I will go and face the judgment there than facing the, because he knew that the judgment he was going to face here was going to be very terrible. He was really definitely going to pay for it, for what he did. And considering the fact that he's a Nigerian. And you know that notion they have about Nigerians? He's a Nigerian. He came down to, like, the audacity, the temerity. You came down to my country. You killed my citizens.
Yeah.
Not just one, but two.
Let's see.
And we are here in Nigeria. They can come here and smash us down, and or we can go there and they kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it
And
because the government
that's-
doesn't have you.
That's Eunice is really pissed. Well, that happened in the diaspora. Coming down, let's move to West Africa, Nigeria, where the elections, that's what's actually popping right now over there in Nigeria. Talking about the election, the primaries for the presidential seats come 2023. We've seen the PDP have their own primaries and the APC holding their primaries between today and Wednesday. I just want to say something. Did you see that Bola Tinubu's
Yeah,
Oh,
his comment.
Did you
The,
see
the, the
that?
I made you comment.
But
I made you.
but I was thinking, in as much as yes, he is really desperate for power. I was thinking that was supposed to be a disqualification.
Is
on
that
his-
is that
I'm
is that
surprised he
is
still
that
stay-
are we supposed to tag that as desperation?
Yeah.
No, I don't see that as being
What you
desperate.
tag that?
I see that as being intentional.
No.
Yes, he was intentional. He
See,
wanted something.
the-
He was
the-
going for it. Baba was.
if you want something, go for it. Not by pointing and making faces.
You don't
at
know
people.
politics. Politics, anything goes. Do you get it? Anything goes. If I want to get this, okay, you are holding an iPhone and I'm holding an Infinix phone, just normal Infinix, and I want your Infinix, and I'm telling you that this Infinix, the person that sold it for you, the person that sold it for him, that sold it to you, I was the one that connected into the owner, the manufacturer
As
of
I'm
the
saying,
iPhone.
those things were unnecessary. To call names, but it is what it is.
They said growing up, old people act like children. You get it. It's not from my mouth actually. It's what they say. It's something that when we're growing up, they used to tell us that when you are growing old, you act like children. So you can't blame them. You can't really blame them. Maybe.
Well, we can't really blame them. It is what it is. The
It is
elections
what
are
it is.
going on right now. If you're a Nigerian and you especially in the nation's capital talking about the FCT, you've got to be very, very careful considering
Yeah.
that the elections are on. Watch your side
Watch your
and
mouth.
watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Exactly, because
Watch your
these
mouth.
days,
Because we young people, we want to show that we are very intelligent. You are in a you're in a you're in a taxi and they are talking. You just brought up discussion and you've been holding your anger since. You just I'm telling you, my dear. I'm telling you, this man doesn't know what he's saying. Look
and
at
the
me.
funny thing is that
And before you know, you are
the
gone.
strongest of arguers do not even have, what's it called now, a PVC. Yeah, they are the strongest of arguers. Please, if you want to make your arguments very Nigerian, go out there
Yeah.
and make your arguments with your
Miss your
PVC
PVC,
when
please
it's
get
time
there.
for the elections. What other things made the trend, Eunice, over the weekend?
Okay, over the weekend, just like we talked about, we'll talk about the Ondo killing. In fact, the Ondo killing was
It was
the
the big
major.
one.
It was
It
a
was the big
major.
one.
It was a major trend,
It
and
was the big one.
I really felt it because, in fact, the whole Nigeria felt it. It was a blow to Christianity. It was a blow.
The massacre has
It
never
was a
been
blow.
that's massive in a particular church assembly as before. You know, we've
Yeah.
always had, okay, it was a bomb blast, people just died, and
Yeah.
but this one, like,
There was
see the
even
pictures
there
on the
was even the
floor of
pictures
blood.
of a young baby. Ah,
Yeah,
God.
I saw. You
The
showed
young
me
baby
that video,
the
right?
young baby
Oh,
came
God.
down to Nigeria to spend some time with her grandma and grandpa. And imagine how would the
How
parent
about the couple?
how would the couple feel?
The couple that was killed.
Wait. How would the parents
Oh,
of that child
God.
feel? Okay, because I said I should just send my child to you this weekend. Go and spend weekend. People will just butchered my child. It's really crazy. Like we said before, please, for us to stop all this has to stop. And the only way for us to stop it is if we vote right.
That's right.
We need to vote right. And for you to vote right, you need your PVC.
That's
Go
right.
get your PVC. And mind your argument. Don't argue unnecessarily. In fact, don't even argue. Anybody that says anything, madam, you are right. Or guy, you are right. You are very right. Your
Take two.
safety is worth more than
That's
anything.
what it
Because
is.
when you die, the government is not going to take it. They won't even know somebody has died.
That's right. Eunice said it all. They wouldn't know someone has died. Your safety is everything. And
It's
that's about the
everything.
size of the weekend review this Monday on Food and Health Communications. I will catch you up on Monday next week, same time on Food and Health Communications.
And do make sure you like our social media pages
That's
on
right.
Food and Health.com and kindly subscribe to our social media
It's that
and
easy.
our YouTube channel. Please, to all our subscribers, those that have been subscribing and following us daily back to back, we love you and we appreciate all you've been doing for us.
That's right.
And call your friends to come and enjoy what you've been enjoying too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Till we come your way next time, it's bye for now. My name is Victor Wawery.
And my name is Eunice Felicity.
Do have a productive day.
Stay safe.